Hey everyone, welcome back to Cody Tarot. I'm your tarot reader, Cody. So in today's pick a card, we are going to be doing, I have the flame of illumination here, because in today's pick a card, we're going to be doing what are your person's thoughts about you. Also, we're going to have a special section in today's reading. The reading's going to be in two parts. Second section is their secret thoughts about you. So first section, a little bit of their thoughts that you probably could guess or know, or that would make sense, right? Thoughts that would make sense that you know they're thinking about you. Second part of the reading, this is all the hidden crap. This is all the stuff they're thinking that they would never bring up to you, or if they are going to bring up to you, they are not right now. So with that said, we have three groups in front of us today. We have the Black Tourmaline, Group 1. We have the Smokey Elestial, Group 2. And we have the Rose Quartz, Group 3. So I'm really excited to get in today's reading. Okay, I said that, but technically I've already filmed the piles. So really excited to get into today's reading, for you guys to get into today's reading. Remember, this is not a reading for the faint of heart. We're going to be covering secret thoughts, what they're going through, so things could be revealed that maybe you guys aren't ready to hear. So keep that in mind. But if you are curious about this type of reading, I encourage you to keep watching the video. So I'm going to show you the crystals one by one. How a pick a card works is after I show you the crystals one by one, there are groups in the description box, and you click on a timestamp associated with that group and crystal, and that will fast forward you to your reading. So let's get started showing you guys the crystals. So first crystal we have is Black Tourmaline. It's the first crystal we have. Our second crystal is the Smokey Elestial. Wow, look how cool that flame looks behind that color of that crystal. Wow. And then next we have Rose Quartz. So Rose Quartz is Group 3. So let me get these so you guys can, there you go. So pause the video here if you need more time to select your crystal. Remember, this is Group 1, this is Group 2, and this is Group 3. I'll give you a moment to do that if you want to tap into your intuition or however you select your crystals. With that said, let's get into the reading. I'm going to show you a little clip of the decks that we're using in today's reading right after this, and then we'll get started with Black Tourmaline. Here are the decks we're going to be using in today's reading. So if you're curious about purchasing any of these decks, you can screenshot this image and you can Google search them or look for them on Amazon or whatever. And let's get into the reading. Hey, Group 1, this is if you picked the Black Tourmaline. So let's get into your reading. We're going to have this reading's in two parts. There's going to be two parts to this reading. The first part is things they have told you or impressions that you would probably guess this person would tell you about or would feel free saying. And then the second part is their secret thoughts. So let's get into it. So we're going to have all the same cards for both sections of the reading. It's going to be like two readings in one, basically. So let's see, we have the numerology card, we have love. Let's put that right there. Then I want to get a Astro Oracle card. I'm actually going to move your Black Tourmaline over here, I think. Let's get an Astro Oracle card for you guys. What Astro Oracle card needs to come up for Group 1? Okay, this one's kind of isolated. We have 12th house. Let's get a character oracle for you guys. Character oracle needs to come out for Group 1. This one kind of wants to come out. We have Elder. And I want to get some Under the Oak tarot cards for you guys and see what else is coming through in part 1 of this reading. Okay, let's see. We have Four of Wands, we have Strength, and we have the World. So let me organize these a little bit better. Okay. Let me pull this down actually somewhat. Okay, so let's see. Things your person thinks of you. First of all, we have elder here, which says wisdom bearer, experience, tradition, kindness, and health. This person definitely, especially with the strength card right below it, this person sees you as someone, this person looks up to you, first of all. This person looks up to you. You're seen as the wise one in the connection, or you're seen as the one with all the wisdom. I think this person is in awe of your wisdom. I think this person is in awe of your intelligence. I think this person is in awe of your strength of intelligence. I really feel like you guys have this aspect to you that is very nurturing and sheltering to this person. This person feels like they feel safe with you. This person feels like you will always be a pillar of support in their life. You're really represented as someone who they truly love. Essentially, I think this person or your person that you're thinking about truly not only loves you, but deeply, deeply respects you. And especially this is the things that you're going to be able to see about them right off the bat. So these are the things you're going to already know that this person feels towards you. Or if this is the part of the reading that this is going to be the part that makes the most sense, or it should, because this is what they think of you, and kind of things they've either told you or things that you kind of know they feel about you. With 12th house here, I wouldn't be surprised if your person has mentioned things to you that you are very like introspective, or they think that you think things through a lot, or that you spend a lot of time alone to really process information, something like that. This person really feels like you really dig deep, like you're not afraid to go into the depths of things. You're not afraid to, how do I put this? Dig deep into your own psychology and the psychology of others to like discover things about life, to like discover your own sense of innate wisdom. With experience here, they really feel like you have a lot of experience, especially with the World card. I'm getting this metaphor of someone who has traveled extensively, or who has experienced or seen a lot of life. And also one thing that I'm seeing too is someone who is actually now in the process of analyzing all that experience and kind of keeping to themselves a little bit. With the World card too, this person could possibly view you as someone who is very worldly, or like someone who is very like has the experience of the world, something like that. This can also indicate that you guys have traveled extensively in your life, and this person views you as a traveler or a child of the world, something like that. And so there's a feeling that you guys may have been possibly raised by multiple different types of people in your life, and had many different experiences under different nurturing figures as part of your life experience. And this person knows that side to your story, and they know that's one of the reasons why you have so much knowledge. So with 4 of Wands, this person sees you as extremely fun-loving. This person also sees you as someone who's very celebratory and celebrates significant milestones with them. I wouldn't be surprised if this person, like one of the ways they think of you or they remember you is through celebrations. Like maybe you've been to a lot of like ceremonial celebrations with this person, whether that's birthdays, weddings, funerals, any kind of momentous milestone that's a part, like a significant moment in your life. This is kind of the milestone card. It's also the card of like happiness and joy. It represents good times and celebrations. I feel like a lot of you have either partied with this person or had a lot of experiences with this person in like a loose kind of social fun atmosphere or something like that. This person also views you as very strong. They see you as very strong, whether physically or mentally. There's something about your strength. And I'm not really seeing too many indications if it's physical or mental. For some of you, because Wisdom Bearer talks about intellectual intelligence and health here talks about physical stamina. So for some of you, it's going to be that you're very physically strong, you're very athletic, or you're very healthy in that way. And they view you as strong because you have the endurance to maintain your health, and you have been able to for quite a while. For others of you, it's this sense of intelligence that's about you. Like there's something that you're so strong because you're so smart, or you have this like extremely intelligent way of being. And this person, like this little girl in this like I don't know what this creature is, but she seems so comfortable in the presence of this creature, you know. It's reminding me of the strength card, who's just so comfortable putting their hands in the lion's mouth, you know, like the original strength card. Same thing with this little girl and this creature, and this creature is like 3 times her size. And the main thing that I'm seeing about that, maybe even bigger than that, the creature's kind of hunched over, but there's this feeling that like you kind of envelop this person is kind of the vibe that I'm getting. They feel safe. That's the one thing that's coming through very strong. They feel safe with you. They probably have told you this, that like, wow, you make me feel so safe. You make me feel so protected. For a lot of you, this is a romantic interest because we do have love here. And for a lot of you, you're like that pillar of support for this person is kind of what I'm seeing. Now, there's also not this vibe. There's this vibe where you guys aren't necessarily boring either. I mean, we have elder here, so they do view you as older, more mature, more wise. Even if you are younger than this person, and a lot of this reading is sounding accurate, this is how they view you. They view you as a little more experienced than they are. So if this is a situation where you're younger than this person that you're asking about, they still view you as having more experience than them. And a lot of this probably comes from you traveling the world, or you having a lot of worldly experiences. For some of you, if you don't travel the world, you're very curious about other cultures. You're very curious about what's going on in the world. And this is something that this person doesn't really have in spades like you do. You have this ability to absorb all this different information from all over the place. For a lot of you, something I was picking up was that you're a child of the world, that you maybe have had many different authority or parental figures throughout your life, not just one single one. And you've learned so much from all those other authority figures. You could also be someone who is really, for the intellectual people in this group, you could have a strength in your intellect, or you could have something where experiences with the world has given you a sharper mindset, or something, you have a sharper mind, something like that. For those of you who are like physically strong or athletic, there could be a feeling too that like your beauty is very worldly. Like there's something elegant about your beauty that maybe your local community doesn't really support. But if you like, say you post pictures and like other people, maybe on social media, like people from foreign countries or something like that really respect your beauty, something like that. I'm getting very much like energy, like ninth house versus third house energy. I'm getting strong energy of like pulling you towards that ninth house of like foreign travel, beauty in that regard. With elder here too, we have tradition and kindness. I do think this person views you as very kind, and tradition's not coming through in the traditional way it would. That's so funny. Tradition coming through traditionally. But it's coming through in the sense that you've built your own traditions. That's kind of the vibe that's coming through, that you've built your own traditions and you've kind of assimilated traditions from all different types of people. So these are all things that this person is literally aware about you. This person is aware of all these things, and this is how they're kind of viewing you. So a lot of these things might make sense. Also with love here, I think you have a deep connection with this person in a loving way. This is a very powerful energy. It's coming through as a very powerful energy, and it's kind of tying in the rest of the components of the reading into one overarching emotional theme. Like the emotional theme is love. Like when this person thinks of you, it's not just thoughts. They're feeling for you. They're feeling love for you. They're feeling compassion for you. Deep respect, deep admiration, and pure love. Just pure love. With Four of Wands, I think you have a good sense of humor with this person. This person loves your sense of humor. They love laughing with you. They love your jokes. They love that you're a bright, positive expression in the universe. And with 12th house, this is coming through in a slightly more negative connotation, in the way that I think that they would like to spend more time with you, or they may have told you, like, I wish you didn't spend so much time alone, or maybe we could go out more, or maybe we could socialize more. They are aware that you are a little bit further along in your life journey than they are, or they're kind of playing catch up to you, is kind of how I'm seeing it, that they're not quite as in the same stage of life as you are. So that's something that has been brought up, or I think maybe is a discussion that you have had with this person. They really are romanticizing this world energy, right? They're really romanticizing this energy of like, let's explore together, let's learn together. Part of them wants to be in this energy. They want to explore the world. They want to have either many different parental figures or learn from many different sources, or have that education that expands to a wide breadth, right? Where they can absorb a lot of information. They want to be able to have the experience to make their own decisions in life. And that's one reason why they admire you so much. They do wish a little bit they could be in the position with you where, how do I put this? Where you guys are exploring the world together, where you're learning together, where you're more on the same page together. They do kind of think of that from time to time. But then again, you represent kind of this version of them that they're trying to grow into as well, right? And they have deep love and respect for you. That is the main thing coming through with this. This love card is coming through so strongly. If you want to weigh all the factors in this reading or weigh out all the cards, this is coming through as something that they kind of are like, with the 12th house in the world dichotomy, that balancing act between introspection and that worldly experience. This is something coming through as more of like a thought process they have. This love feeling is coming through as overwhelming feelings for you, right? It's not that these things, this world and this introspection, are coming through as energies of feelings, right? There's no like anger or frustration attached to these energies. It's just something they're thinking about. The love is so strong with this person and how much they love you that it's really coming through overwhelmingly how do I put it? Like, there's no emotional discrepancies with the way this person's feeling about you. It's not love or hate. It's not, how do I put this? It's not like one moment they're like disgusted by you and the next moment they love you. There's no conflicting feelings is the best way to put it. There might be conflicting thoughts, but there's no conflicting feelings. The feelings are all just pure love, right? I think that about covers it for part one. Let's get into part two. Now I'm going to be using different cards, so we don't have any repeating cards in today's reading. So let's get into part two. So first, let's get a numerology card for their secret thoughts about you. What did I write down here? Secret thoughts. These are secret thoughts they have not said, or things that you wouldn't be aware of with this person. So a lot of what I just said, you might kind of have figured with this person. So let's get secret thoughts. What are they not telling you? Okay, first thing we have is perseverance. Let's get a Astro Oracle card. What Astro Oracle card needs to come out for group one, part two of their reading for what the secret thoughts are? This one does not want to go back in. We have cultivate. Let's get you a character oracle for their secret perception of your character. And we have volunteer. And let's get some tarot cards for this group too. Let's see, we have the Empress, we have Four of Pentacles, and we have Nine of Pentacles. Okay, let's see. Okay, we have a lot of pentacles in this reading, so a lot of their secret thoughts have to do with your money situation or what you guys are doing financially. With volunteer, something, I don't know why they would keep this from you, honestly, but something they think about you that they really haven't told you yet, and I kind of feel they would tell you this if you ask them about it, but this is something that the way they're thinking about you that you might not perceive about them. With volunteer, they see you as very selflessly devoted. They see you as having like this spirit of service to other people. I mean, there's this strong vibe that you guys, they see you as someone who very much cares for others. And they see you as someone who very much just sacrifices your time and energy for all these people. And you don't bat an eye, or you don't ask for that much in return or something like that. There's a feeling of like offering your services freely and willingly. And I think they really respect this about you. But at the same time, I mean, it might be coming through. They don't want to tell you this because there could be a vibe that they don't want to alter this version of you too much. it might even also be that maybe you have mentioned to this person, like, I'm tired of taking care of everyone. Like, I always do everything for everyone, but like, no one's doing anything for me. Maybe you guys have said these things and they don't want to tell you, like, it's almost like you don't view your own ability for selfless devotion and spirit of service as a strength, and they do. And it's almost like they're not, it's almost the vibe that's coming through is like, if you guys are complaining about how much you have to do for others, but you still want to do it, like, they see this as a gift where you guys might not see it like that. Or there's a feeling where you guys might have mentioned something in passing where you don't want to view yourself as someone who's of service to others, or you don't want to view yourself, maybe you guys view someone who gives of their time and resources willingly as weak, something like that. And this person really sees that as a true strength that you have, something like that. So maybe this has been a point of contention. I mean, if you guys struggle with giving to others, but you find yourself in this trap of like either constantly giving or not giving enough, or being very selfish or something like that, this person only sees it going one way. They see you as very giving. They've never seen you as selfish. They've never seen you as a taker. And I think that's kind of hard for you guys sometimes, because I think for a lot of you, you're very so much focused on like self-preservation in a way that you see giving as kind of like a weakness, is kind of what I'm seeing. And it almost might be something that's like hidden from you guys a little bit as well. Like you guys watching this might not realize how much you give, but this person sees it very clearly, right? We see this again here with this woman opening the eye. There's a third eye element to this connection as well. And there's also another element to it with the third eye energy here, where this person, they secretly know you know a lot about them. Like, they might not act like you know a lot about them, but they know you do. So there might be situations with this person where maybe you have said some things about their character and you've pointed out like little things about them and they're just like, oh no, I'm not like that. This person might have a kind of a hidden side where they don't want to be seen. So like obviously is the way I'm seeing it. They don't want someone to be able to see into them or have a connection with them to the point where they can see into them. They'd probably be really pissed I'm doing this reading about them, to be honest. But there's this feeling that you guys can see clearly into them, and they would never tell you this. They would never tell you that your intuition is so spot on that you can you can judge their every move. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of this stuff that you're hearing that is in this portion of the reading is stuff you guys are aware of with them. You're very much aware of that they view you as, but you're not saying anything and they've never told you, and they would probably never tell you, right? That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. And some of this stuff is also coming through as just like stuff that's just in general unspoken. So I don't want to leave that out for some of you, that this is just coming through as stuff that's been that hasn't been spoken of yet, right? That still might come to pass, because we did get a very strong love card in the first part of the reading. And I do feel like there's a deep exchange of love and respect between both of you. And that's kind of a feeling that you can't fake. Really, you can't fake that in a connection. And so I do think you guys have a really deep, profound connection. So I want to put that out there before I get into all these other things that haven't been spoken about or that are kind of buried beneath the surface. But yeah, so the Nine of Pentacles in this card, because she has this powerful opening of her eye and there's all this electricity around her, it's giving me insights, intuition, sudden intuition. You might suddenly think of something about this person and it's spot on, it's dead on. We even have the moon in the background further emphasizing this intuition. Yeah, there's also very strong energy with perseverance and cultivate, Taurus. This person is thinking about the long haul with you. Hopefully you guys aren't commitment phobes, because this person wants to be in your life for a long time. It's kind of what I'm seeing, especially with perseverance. They might not say that they're willing to put up with a lot from you, but they are. That's the thing. Like, I don't want to like give you guys ideas to act unethically, obviously, but like if you started acting like more of like an asshole, they would put up with it. If you started saying and doing things that were a little more hurtful, like they would put up with it. Like they'd be like, that's not that bad. Like they're so good everywhere else. Like I'm going to put up with it. That's kind of the vibe of this person, that they would persevere through this relationship no matter what, right? So even if there's thorns, even if you're having a bad day, even if you are just like pissed at them, or even if you say something mean to them, this person is, honestly, it would take a lot for this person to have no respect for you. This person has a version of you in their head, and which is probably founded in reality. I feel like you guys are actually deserving of this, right? It's not like they're just making it up, right? This is not the type of person where I'm seeing them as kind of like delusional about you, like, oh, they're so great, but really you're like, what did I do to deserve this? Like, I'm not even like that. It's not the vibe here. It's like a deep connection I'm feeling between both of you. With perseverance, it's just like, if there are thorns in the thicket, I am going to persevere through them. Sorry, I don't know what thorns in the thicket means. I just said that. It's probably not an actual expression, but I'm going to use it, claiming it. If there's thorns in the thicket, they're going to persevere, right? They see that beautiful rose and they know if they grab that stem, there might be a thorn or two. And they're like, you know what? I don't care. I don't care if I get pricked by this thorn. I'm gonna like stick with this person. This person has a very romantic and idealized view of you, but I also honestly think it's founded in reality. I don't think they're delulu about you, anything like that. They really deeply respect you, and I think you've given them reason for that as well. Other things I want to point out with Taurus and Cultivate here, also next to Pentacle cards, they might not really express how much they want to deal with finances with you. I think they view you as very financially independent, and they want to merge those things with you. Like they want to share more resources with you is kind of what I'm saying. Because with 9 of Pentacles and 4 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles is a card traditionally about independence and wealth, being independently wealthy and having total freedom over your own wealth compared to other people. 4 of Pentacles is about conserving that wealth and being tighter with that wealth, right? Just having the 9 of Pentacles doesn't mean that you're either conserving or sharing your wealth. You could do either. It just means you're independently wealthy. 4 of Pentacles means you're in a mode where you're conserving and hoarding and keeping things to yourself, right? And what's interesting with 4 of Pentacles being below the Volunteer, there might be this feeling where on one hand, with the 4 of Pentacles next to the Volunteer, you guys might think you're actually more selfish than you really are. And this person doesn't want to shatter that image because they see that you guys feeling like you can take care of yourselves, like you're selfish, or selfish is the wrong word, self-sufficient. You guys feeling like you're self-sufficient and you don't need to help anyone and you only need to help yourself is actually working out in your favor financially, for sure. It's working out in your favor financially for sure, but this person really deeply respects that volunteer side of you, that devoted side of you, that spirit of service that you have. And they really don't want you to lose that just so you can make extra coin. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. On the other side of that too, they also want to work with you financially, or they want to experience your financial, there's a feeling of wanting to influence you financially, or there's a feeling of wanting to merge with financial ideologies could be merged or something like that. But they want to kind of, there's this feeling of, how do I put it? They want you to kind of explore more financially is kind of what I'm seeing. And with Cultivate here in the gold band and the Taurus head too, Taurus is giving me vibes of like sensuality, like I said with earlier in the reading, you might realize they want to do experiences with you. They may have pointed this out, like you spend too much time alone, like let's go out, something like that. But what I'm seeing here is that they also want to understand certain financial things with you and kind of explore finances together, right? With 9 of Pentacles and 4 of Pentacles, I'm getting your guys are very isolated when it comes to your money, and you don't like to share your resources, or it's not even sharing your resources, or share like how you make money or like where your money comes from, anything like that. They want like a free expression of sharing those things about wealth. Four of Pentacles can also be health. So for those of you in the beginning, part one, where I mentioned you have like a really strong physique or you have a really healthy body, maybe you guys don't talk about physical health or something like that. And maybe there's something coming through here where they want to merge health habits with you, or they really want to know what your secrets are when it comes to health, but they feel nervous about asking you that. But they actually want to maybe work on something health-wise with you, you know? Maybe they want you to take a little bit more of a hands-on approach with them when it comes to health. The last thing I'm seeing here with the Empress, when it comes to their secret thoughts about you, the Empress is the card of ideal femininity. So, and it's also the card of beauty. It's the card of the beautiful woman, right? This woman is like, obviously she's half woman, half bird, half lion, something like that. But there's this feeling of just being so transfixed by your appearance, right? There's this feeling of being so transfixed by your beauty. They would probably never comment on your physical beauty to you, to your face. Maybe you guys are the types that don't really like compliments when it comes to your physical beauty. Maybe you get them so often that you're like, I don't need them anymore. Or on the flip side, they're nervous to point out your physical beauty because maybe not a lot of people find you beautiful and they find you drop dead gorgeous. And the thing I'm getting to is it's like, maybe you guys don't trust compliments because maybe you have kind of this feeling that like at one point in your life, you were like unattractive, or you have this kind of feeling that at one point in my life, I was unattractive. So how can I be attractive now? But they're saying you are attractive. Like you are glowing. Like there's a feeling of your body glowing. I think this person, I'm not getting any wands energy, so this could just be an aesthetic appreciation. I'm not getting like deep guttural sexual feelings, right? Where they're like jonesing after you in a super sexual, like passionate, like obsessive way. It's just that they find you extremely beautiful, like extremely beautiful. And even though they don't say it, they think you're a very beautiful person, aesthetically, intellectually, visually, like there's a feeling of harmony here when it comes to your looks that they just find you so easy to look at, right? They find you very easy to look at, very easy on the eyes. This person also is giving me vibes that they're uncomfortable expressing their sexuality. Could be coming through. Like this person might feel kind of odd giving people compliments, or they might be, it might be it's one of either two things. It's either you guys have a complex with compliments and they are aware of that and they know not to overstep that boundary, or they have a complex with giving compliments. Like they don't really know how to give compliments about people's physical appearance without feeling like they're being awkward or like they're overstepping some boundaries or something like that. It may be in the past that when they complimented someone's physical appearance, that person, you know, took it the wrong way. You know, so that person could have viewed it in like a negative way. At the worst case scenario, someone could have viewed one of their compliments as like sexual harassment or like them hitting on them in an inappropriate way, when really they're just like complimenting, you know, they're like, oh, wow, I love your body. You have a really good figure. They could have said something like that and the person could be like, what? Or, you know, something like that, where it was just like someone took it inappropriately. And so this person shut down on how they give compliments, something like that. Could be something like that. Yeah, overall, this person finds you very physically beautiful, very alluring. Maybe the things they like about people's beauty are a little weird or odd. And so the thing that they actually like about you visually might not be socially acceptable. So that's why they don't say it. It might not be in the common, what other people find attractive, right? But this person definitely finds you attractive, and they don't want to tell you about it. That's the thing. They're just keeping it a secret. With perseverance, they're in it for the long haul. 4 is a number of foundation. It's a number of security. It's a number of structure. It's a number of building things with someone and making that foundation, right? The number 4 to me is very much the opposite of tower energy, right? Tower is that unstable foundation that you just need to like smash to the ground because it's just shaky. It's never going to work anyway. So you're just going to destroy it. 4 is that feeling of like, this is secure, this is stable, I want to build this. Like, this is on solid ground. This person definitely feels like your relationship is on solid ground, but I don't think they want to hint at the long-term part of this connection. I think they don't want you to run. I think they don't want you to run away. I don't think, maybe you guys are very in the moment types. You're in that way, you're very in the moment. You don't want to settle down, or maybe you have a very independent streak. This person wants long-term commitment. They also, with perseverance, the main thing I'm getting with this, besides the long-term commitment, the main energy this card's bringing me is, you know, it's so messed up, but you guys could act shitty to this person and they'd still stick around. Like, if you wanted to, I'm not saying you should, because you shouldn't just act shitty to someone for no reason. But if you wanted to say something effed up to them, like just to test the waters, they probably wouldn't bat an eye. They'd be like, okay, that was jacked up, but like, I still love them. And this person is like, it's like unconditional love, right? That's the vibe that I'm getting. Like, and also one thing message that's coming through, if you have said something insulting to this person and you thought that they took offense to it, or that they are thinking about it or something like that, that's not the case. This person just saw that as a moment of frustration or something like that. And even if they saw it as something negative, they go, I don't care. This is still my person. I still want to work through this. I still want to build this connection with them. I still want to build this up. However I can build this up with them. This is a solid foundation and I know it. This person has a strong knowledge about you is kind of what I'm seeing. Yeah, so that about covers it with their secret thoughts about you. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading today. I know I really enjoyed giving you guys this reading. It was a lot of fun. I hope this was helpful or brought you some insight in some way. Yeah, if you guys want to help out the channel, feel free to like or comment below. Otherwise, also you can subscribe if you want to. And otherwise, I'll catch you guys in the next pick a card. Bye. Hey Group 2, this is if you picked the Smokey Quartz. So let's get into your reading. To start your reading off, this reading is going to be in 2 parts. Part 1 is going to be what this person thinks of you, what you know they think of you, or how you can kind of perceive how they think of you already, what you know about that. Then the second part of the reading is going to be secret thoughts that they have either not said or not expressed, or they're keeping to themselves. So let's get into it. Start with a numerology card. Get a numerology card for part 1 of this reading for Group 2's person, and what they're thinking of Group 2 that Group 2 kind of already knows about. We have manifestation. Let's get an Astro Oracle card. Let's see what card wants to come out for Group 2. We have First House Arrival. Let's get a character oracle for you guys. Okay, let's get a character oracle for Group 2 for how Group 2's person, what they think of Group 2. Okay, and the card we have is Community. And let's get some tarot cards. Let's get 3 tarot cards to help me figure out. Oh, okay. We actually have 5 tarot cards on the table, and I think I'm going to take all of them actually. I know it's a lot more than some of the other groups, but these all flipped out, and I'm going to take them. So normally when cards flip out like this, in a reading, for me, I know a lot of readers like to use the cards that flip out. Are they called trump cards? I don't know what people call them. When they flip out of the deck on their own and you're not drawing them, usually those cards for me when I read tarot represent topics of the reading. It usually is information you already know, or it's guiding you to ask the question a certain way. Then when you're drawing cards, usually that pulls out some information. That's kind of like what the reading is. That's usually when I do like personal readings for like clients or like people in my daily life. That's usually what those represent. But because you had 5 flip out all at once, I'm taking that as a sign to read these in particular for the reading of how this person views you or thinks of you. So yeah. Okay, I think I got most of this down. There's some cool themes in your guys' reading. First of all, the Two of Cups, the Three of Pentacles, and Eight of Cups all have ripples in them. There's a pond here, and there's ripples around these crystals. This swan is creating ripples, and in this pond right here with these two flowers, there's ripples. So there is this kind of ripple effect theme in this connection. And there's also a theme of reflection. This person feels like you reflect them in some way, or you're a reflection of their life. This is kind of also tied in with this manifestation card about manifesting and the whole concept that most people who talk about manifestation refer to the world being an outside reflection of what your internal world is going through, and that when you change your internal world, you can change your outer world, and the outer world is just catching up to the internal world, stuff like that. This person views you as kind of that expression, that kind of like, it's almost like what you're thinking of or what they're thinking of, you're representing in the outer world. There's a feeling that they cause these ripple effects in you, or you cause these ripple effects in them. There could be a theme of like unexpressed dreams or desires with this person, where they feel like you are living out a dream that they have had in their past, and vice versa. I feel like this is very mutual. I feel like there's also a feeling of them living out some kind of dream that you've had, that you've expressed to them. So these could be very deep conversations that you guys have had with each other. But overall, I'm seeing kind of like the vibe of someone living out someone else's dream for them. This doesn't have to be a bad thing. I know that there can be like, with that situation, that can sometimes bring about a little bit of jealousy in the connection. And maybe you guys have that in your connection with this person. Maybe there's a little bit of jealousy of, how come they get to have this dream and I don't? But in a way, with Two of Cups here, you guys are soulmates, or there's a feeling that this person views you as a soulmate, right? Remember, this reading's more what they think of you, but I am seeing little connections to your relationship, especially in this beginning part where it's stuff that they've talked to you about and stuff like that. I think these are things that are naturally syncing up and things you've naturally expressed to each other, what I'm about to go over before we get into secret thoughts in part 2. So there is a feeling that you guys know you're mutually pretty compatible with Two of Cups here. It's like, yeah, I click with you, you click with me, we get along, I'm getting like strong friendship vibes, not to saying this can't be romantic, but so far in this reading, I'm getting strong friendship, coworker, teamwork vibes from this person. This person definitely views you as a strong team player with Three of Pentacles here. They like working on projects with you. They've probably mentioned this to you. They probably have told you it's so easy to work with you, or it's so nice to work with someone who's so easy to work with, something like that. Really, you guys have this ability to just like get stuff done in a really easy way. Also, Three of Pentacles with community here. I'm seeing something about a work community, something about your neighborhood or your environment in your neighborhood. So this is kind of a specific message, but if it applies, feel free to take it. And if it doesn't, this might not be a message for you in this reading, but there is a strong vibe of like working on a community neighborhood project and really getting a lot accomplished. So this could be like talking to local government and getting things done in your community, like getting certain things built around your community, or getting a certain law passed in your community, something like that. Because we do have connection, society, and cooperation. And I feel like you both have very strong ideals about how the community around you should be and should operate. And you mostly agree on most of these things, is kind of what I'm seeing. So there is a feeling of camaraderie about shared goals or shared interests when it comes to your connection with this person. I think you guys are both very community focused. I also think you possibly met in a community. So this person probably sees you as a really good neighbor. They definitely see you as a really good team player. They see you as like an upstanding member of society, and they see you as extremely cooperative, right? Like the one thing that I'm getting from this connection, is that you guys would be the best coworkers. Like, you work so well together. Like, the way you work together is like seamless and flawless. Like, that is one thing coming through, that this person really appreciates doing any kind of project with you, right? You could pitch any kind of project to this person and they would be down to work with you on it because they just thoroughly enjoy working with you. You know, that's kind of the theme here. It's like they enjoy working with you. It's easy, it flows, it's compatible. They see you as a true blue friend. You know, this person just loves being around you and working on things together with you. Okay, before I beat that part of the reading to a dead horse, I want to get into the other parts. Let's talk about something that's coming through as a little bit of a negative that they see about you, that they've probably told you, maybe in a joking way. You know, it's kind of what I'm seeing. But with Eight of Cups, this talks about you guys being a little distractible, right? I'm seeing these shiny roses up here and the swan in the ripples, and the swan looks a little restless, or it's ruffling its feathers. One thing that I'm seeing is there's kind of like this sense of restlessness that you guys have, that they notice about you, that you guys have this a little bit of sense of restlessness to you. They also see you as a little bit easily distracted, is the best way I can put it. I normally don't get that interpretation with the Eight of Cups, but the Eight of Cups does talk about like leaving things behind, or reassessing things. And in this particular version of the Eight of Cups, it's coming through to me as a message is distractibility, right? They feel like you have this sense of distractibility where you're kind of, I don't know how to put it, like, they could be focused on one thing, but then you get distracted by something else. For some reason, it has this effect where it doesn't affect your guys' work with each other. Like, your distractibility doesn't affect how well you guys work together. It's almost like they can just keep working while you're distracted with something, and then you can plug back into the project when you need to, something like that. I am getting this message, but I'm not seeing it in the cards. So I like to tell you guys that, so you know what messages or what is being divined from the cards and which ones are kind of coming from more my intuition in that regard. Here's the thing that I'm seeing is that you guys are kind of the idea person, and they're kind of the person who does most of the work and the connection. And they love that you provide them with fresh ideas. That's kind of one thing that I'm seeing here as part of your guys' connection, that you guys have more of the concept or the idea of how things should go, but maybe you guys have this distractible nature that causes you to not work on projects very thoroughly, or have this stop-start kind of thing with projects, and they have this ability to kind of work through it consistently. That's a thing coming through, but I'm not necessarily seeing that in the cards, but I'm kind of intuiting that with my particular understanding of relationships, how the dynamic could go. So you guys will have to let me know if I'm right about that in the comments or whatever. So let's get into this. Fool card talks about you guys being very like innocent or very spontaneous. Like, they see you as extremely spontaneous. That is paired with the distractible thing right here, where it's like, ooh, shiny, and then you like go over, look at something, right? And then you have an innocence about that distractibility and a curiosity about that distractibility. You know, it's not a distractibility that is kind of like distracted by like negative things in their environment, or you're distracted by things that irritate you. It's like a distraction of things that are pleasant. That's kind of how I'm seeing it. It's like, ooh, look at that pretty tree over there, you know, and then, you know, and then they might point out like, oh my gosh, like you were so easily distracted, something like that. With the Fool card here, with the dog right next to her, the spirit dog, there could be a vibe that they really love how you treat your pets. They really love how you treat animals. They love how you treat your pets. They've probably told you this before, that you have an ability, or the word that's coming to mind is like clair, but then it stopped after clair. You know how we have clairaudience, clairsentience, clairvoyance, and those all represent psychic avenues to express yourself intuitively. Well, this is coming through as like clair animals, if that's even a thing. You guys have to let me know if that's a thing. I don't know too much about this. But maybe you have a deep psychic connection with animals. and they really respect that, something like that, or you have such a way with animals that you're like the whisperer of whatever animal you like. Like if you have a lot of cats, you're like the cat whisperer, you're like the dog whisperer. Like whenever you like go over to someone's house and there's dogs around, they like love you and you take care of the dog, and or you play with the dog, something like that. There's a feeling something along those lines where you're really good with animals. That's coming through. Let's see what else. Two of Cups I covered, which is the friendship thing. Strong vibes of friendship here. I'm seeing the white stag and it's reminding me of purity and nobility. I think your guys' friendship has a sense of respect to it. I think your guys' friendship has a nobility to it. So I think when people meet you and they kind of view this as well, they feel like when they're around you, people will respect them more because through an association with you is kind of how I'm seeing it. So they do see you as someone who raises their social status. I'm going to end with that for that message and move on to manifestation in the wheel. One thing that this person sees about you is that you're extremely lucky, you're extremely fortunate, and your life takes the most bizarre turns that they've ever seen someone's life take. You know, so I feel like there's situations where you guys have lost like huge amounts of money and then somehow gained twice that amount and became rich off of some random fluke accident or something like that. Your guys' ability to manifest what you want, they see as very and extremely powerful. So the cool thing about this is that they see you as someone who's like on their side and someone who like, this person respects people who can manifest what they want into their reality, right? They also see with that Three of Pentacles, when you guys work together, they get to benefit from that manifesting ability. You know, it's like they've told you that like your luck rubs off on them or something like that, or you're aware that they're aware of this energy, right? You're aware that they have like to be with you because you're lucky. And maybe that's something that's coming through that happens to you guys often with people. Maybe a lot of people like to be around you because of your luck and how good things always happen to you or fortunate events always happen to you. Or just the wild roller coaster that's your life, right? Because I'm getting good fortune, but I'm also getting like dips, like, you know, like, woo, like up and down, like fortune with your manifestations. Like at one moment, you might not think your manifestations are coming through, but then the next moment they are. And also the number 8 here, the 8 goes down, under, and back above ground. Like if you think of the 8 with the middle part being the ground or ground level, the part of the 8 that's like the least wide is the part that's on the ground level. But then there's these huge loops in the stratosphere and these huge loops underground, right? So you can think of your life kind of engaging in this kind of loop-de-loop roller coaster energy. We have that here with the wheel too. And they are very aware of this energy and they think it's fun. They think it's fun, they like it. I don't think they would want to be in it because I think this person likes a little bit more stability in their life, but they do not mind fun and wild and roller coaster through association. Like they appreciate that. They've told you that. They've mentioned this to you. They must have, because you guys are aware of it. If they haven't, you're aware of it. You know secretly that they like that kind of vibe that you have, that kind of whirlwind energy. Let's see what else I'm seeing here. First house, I haven't really covered this yet. This usually deals with the body, the perception of the self. Yeah, I think this person learns a lot about themselves through their connection with you. I want to tie back in the ripples again. This is a very reflective connection. This person probably often says that you reflect parts of them that, it's, how do I put it? It's because it's like, it's not like the ponds are still. It's not like the bodies of water are still. There's ripples in them. And so I'm getting this metaphor, and I'm having a hard time right now putting it into like a message, but I'm getting this metaphor of looking into a mirror, but the mirror is like wavy, or the mirror has like distortions to it. So it might be that this person feels like you reflect them, but it's not always clear, is kind of what I'm seeing. Or it's almost like they have to search, or they have to look, or there's something about having to search in that reflection versus just seeing it clearly, you know, which I think this person likes a little bit, because there's a little bit of a game to this connection. There's a little bit of a game to how you guys operate with each other. But with first house here, tying in first house to that, it really represents them discovering themselves through you. So you guys have a relationship where you guys can discover a lot about each other through the connection. This could happen with just you guys being in association with each other, like just intimate moments, like sharing intimate moments with each other. It can happen with the Three of Pentacles energy where you guys are working together, where it's like, wow, like they do this with their work and I'm kind of seeing how I would do that, but like they're doing it this way. And there's this feeling of searching when you guys are together, something like that, or searching for the self. And I think these epiphanies of the self come through in this connection, which is interesting because the connection's so focused on community. You know, they see you as such a community-minded person and someone who's like really engaged with their environment, especially local environment, because we have neighbors here. But they see a lot of themselves in you. It's just not in the way that's like super easy to define. And this does feel with the Two of Cups here, it feels very mutual. Like this feels like a very mutual kind of situation. Like maybe you guys, that's the way you see them. So if you're thinking like, no, that's how I see them, that's not how they see me. This is a mutual aspect. And that's one of the reasons why it's coming through as like not their secret thoughts and it's coming through as their actual like stuff you would know about, because you guys have, if you guys talked about this, or if you have talked about this, it would be easily bridged. It'd be shared. It'd be something that you both could relate to. Like, yeah, we're so similar, but there's just something off, you know, like there's just something that's not the same, you know? Eight of Cups talks about too, like when you guys are extra distractible and when you're feeling restless and when you're like, your attention's drifting from one thing to the next, that's when they get those glimpses into themselves, which is really ironic because they're not like that. They're more of a steady course type of person is kind of what I'm seeing, like a solid path. But you guys are kind of this windy path, right? And when they see you take turns on your path, that's when they start to realize things about their inner world, right? It's almost like their inner world's more windy than they want to admit. And it's like your guys' inner world is more streamlined than you would want to admit, something like that. So there's a feeling of learning about the self. And remember, there's that reflection where it's like one of you is manifestation right here. One of you is manifesting the dreams of the other one. You know, your person that you're coming to this reading asking about could desire a wild kind of whirlwind, crazy life. And, you know, you guys might actually desire sometimes, you might imagine or dream of a more stable life, right? Now, you guys have the lives you have for the reasons why you have them. This is just kind of something that I believe in, that we kind of are destined to have our specific temperaments in this lifetime, because in this lifetime, we're the only ones that can handle those temperaments, right? We're the only ones that can really like deal with it because we're used to it. Whether we're used to it and it's just like something that we get and we're used to, and that's why we handle them, or it's predestined and we're like meant to have this personality in this lifetime, or this embodiment of how that energy of our soul is being expressed in this lifetime. You guys have dreams almost of being in the other one's shoes, but really, truthfully, you would only be able to handle your own shoes, is kind of what I'm seeing. But it does create this sense of empathy. We see the empathy in the sharing with the Two of Cups. We see this ability to understand the other one because the internal world reflects the other one's outer world. So that's kind of what this person's thinking of you, right? All the kind of thoughts and perceptions and dynamics. So I think I want to move into the next part of the reading where they have their secret thoughts. Like, what are their secret thoughts? Yeah, let's see here. Let's get a numerology card for the secret thoughts. Hopefully you guys like part one. Let's see how part two goes. Okay, so let's see. Their secret thoughts. We have change. And let's get an Astro Oracle for their secret thoughts. Oh, randomly, I guess I'm telling this pile this, but I'm actually at the last time I checked my YouTube Studio app, I'm at 9,999 subscribers. I'm literally one subscriber away from 10,000. Probably by the time this video goes up, I'll be over 10,000. Yeah, but that number could be significant for your connection. Seeing like repeating nines could be significant for your connection, or something about your connection is indicating like I'm just this far away from something. Like there's a feeling of anticipation like that. So let's see what, oh, we have two of these. We have trine, sextile, and debilitated. You guys have a lot of cards flipping up in your reading today. So let's get a character oracle for how they see your secret self. Or not secret self, what am I saying? What are their secret thoughts about group 2? We have ascetic. And let's get some tarot cards for group 2 about their person's secret thoughts about them. I'm feeling hot. I'm getting slightly overheated. So let's see. I mean, Wands energy makes so much sense coming out with that feeling of heat overcoming my body. Let's see. Because I hope you don't mind if I turn on the air conditioning, but I think I'm going to need it for the second half of this reading because I'm getting very heated. My body temperature is rising quite a bit right now. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I just opened the windows and the doors to my house so I have some fresh air and the cool air, the cool night air can come in. Yes, let's get into your reading. Okay. I'm being called to start the reading before I finish analyzing the cards, but don't take this the wrong way. I know you guys have a really great connection. I know you really respect this person, but this person is very jealous of you. They have a lot of envy. Their secret thoughts are very envious. They are very envious of who you are. That inner world dream thing goes deeper than I thought, I'm going to be honest. There's a few things coming through and there's a lot of pieces of information that are kind of disjointed that there's not like an overarching theme of how they think about you. There's like lots of different thoughts that they're thinking about you. First of all, with the Ace of Wands, they deeply respect your energy reserves and they feel like it's unfair that you get to have all the energy and they're kind of, left with kind of like less, it's not really energy. That's not the right word. Passion, right? Passion. How do I put it with the passion? Cause like, guys, I apologize, but like, I don't know if this is making sense or whatnot, but I'm just getting very overheated right now in this reading. So I'm, the air, let me turn the fan on too. Okay, you guys definitely stir this person's passions. This person feels very heated about certain things about you. They're definitely very envious of your energy. They're definitely very envious of your internal spark, that thing that makes you go boom. They're envious of that. There is something else here too with the Two of Wands. It's not really coming through as envy with them, but it's coming through as like, they're happy. This is coming through as a deep appreciation. Like I'm saying, this is kind of like more conflicted feelings with this group as far as their secret thoughts. Like their internal world goes from feeling like protection, deep respect, but also strong envy. Like, why does this person have these talents? Why can't I have these talents? That kind of vibe. With Two of Wands, they're very happy to walk the world with you hand in hand. They feel like together, you guys illuminate the true path forward for both of you. So this is coming through as like their kind of feeling of like basically how you both move into the future together. There's a feeling of foresight that they feel like your connection brings to them. So it goes beyond just teamwork. It goes beyond just seeing into the other one's identity and that being a part of the outer world of the other one, stuff like that. It goes into like, what is our future going to be like for each of us and both of our paths forward? Now, I'm not necessarily seeing like a longevity with this. Like they might not feel like connected to you in a way where they want like a very long-term commitment. But they're happy right now to walk hand in hand with life with you. They enjoy the connection. They enjoy the friendship. They're enjoying the fact that you both light the other one's path forward, or at least that you guys are both in this together right now. and you're on the same path towards the future. They know it can change. That's one thing that they're saying that they might not want to be telling you right now, is that they know it can change. They know the future's not set in stone, and that, you know, plans can fall apart and you might not be together as friends in the future, but they're enjoying the present moment. And that's something that they're not telling you necessarily. Well, they're not telling you that aspect of it. They're not telling you that they're more, how do I put this? Because it's coming through as two things. It's coming through as they're enjoying the present moment with you, and they enjoy walking hand in hand in the present, but they also know that you help them see the future more clearly. You help illuminate their path towards the future more clearly. They're extremely grateful for that, but they still have that belief that they must live in the present moment, right? Without thinking of long-term commitments or future commitments. And so one thing they might not be telling you is that, you know, their joy of their experience with you in the present, because they might feel that maybe you guys want something more long-term, or maybe you guys want something where you guys are walking hand in hand in the future together for a long period of time, something like that. It could be that you guys keep your friendships for a really long period of time, and this person, their friendships are more situational, something like that. But overall, they're very happy to be in this present moment with you. They are definitely enjoying the connection in the present moment with all of its shades. And even though they feel envious of you, and they like are a little jealous of who you are, you know, they kind of want a lot of your traits and qualities. The cool thing about this, though, is they enjoy every minute of it. You know, they enjoy the jealousy. They enjoy the, you know, your distractedness, which is something that, you know, obviously brings them a little discomfort, but they freely express that to you, because that's something you guys have just talked about, I feel. Yeah, they really respect your energy. They think your energy is God-given. They feel like your energy you have received it from a higher source, like higher forces work through you. That's how they view your energy. It's almost worshipped. The way you guys, your energy, the way they view it, it's almost worshipped for them. Like they're worshiping your passion. And I keep saying energy, but I want to say passion, because I associate wands with passion. Not necessarily energy, but maybe energy is coming through for a reason. They are very, how do I put it, drawn and deeply respect your passion for life, your zest for life, right? And I think oftentimes that comes through as energy. Yeah, and with the change card here, that is associated with the Two of Wands. I kind of already covered this a little bit, but the change card just talks about they know things can change, right? They know the future can change. They know your relationship can change. They know your relationship is not something, this is not something they're telling you, by the way. They just know that your relationship is subject to changes. You guys might not always be friends. You might just be friends right now or this period of your life, and they're okay with that. They know things change. They've accepted change in their life on a deep, deep level. That might be something that you guys maybe haven't gotten to as a lesson yet. I don't know. But they accept change very easily. It's kind of what I'm seeing. Like this person really easily accepts any kind of change in their life. Yeah, they know things can change. But like I said, they're okay being in the present moment. With trine sextile symbiosis here, they know you work well together. They are worried, they're secretly worried that you are not as comfortable working with them as they are with you. That's something coming through. With debilitated discomfort, they're kind of in this mindset of like, they can't be comfortable working with me. They're really not. Even if you guys have mentioned to them, like, yeah, I love working with you too. They're secretly thinking like, no, they don't. I am way too boring for them to enjoy working with me. Like they probably need someone as spontaneous and as energetic as they are for this really great working relationship. You know, it's like they're constantly worried like you really don't appreciate them at the level that they appreciate you at. That's something that's coming through as well. Like they feel like you can't possibly appreciate them because there's this feeling of them feeling a little more boring or something like that. Also, sometimes the thing that boils over with them, with seeker of self-restraint, abstinence, purification, and discipline, sometimes they do kind of project this energy on you that you're like them. They kind of view you as a little more disciplined, or they view you as a little more like you have more self-restraint or something like that, because your inner world's kind of like that. Like your inner world has this, you have this ability over your mind is kind of what I'm seeing, where you have kind of like self-restraint within yourself. You keep your mind very pure, and you have like a disciplined mind. Like you guys might be very good with specific intellectual topics and like being very disciplined in those, something like that, while also maintaining a very sporadic, spontaneous outer persona. This person is also projecting their qualities of this card onto you. This is coming through as a projection card where they feel like they have good self-restraint, or they appear to have good self-restraint. They appear to have like a very pure lifestyle. They appear to be very disciplined, and they assume because people view them that way that you're like that too. Like I said in the beginning of the connection, you guys already know you mirror each other, right? But the mirror is distorted in a way. It's like the ripples are not letting you see clearly what's going on with the other person. You know, it's like there's an energy vibration coming through the reflection, not just the visual reflection, right? If you can think of it this way too, like when you look into a mirror, it's very empty. It's very like an empty exercise if you think about it. Like you can do stuff like mirror manifestations, and it can be very powerful, and you're like really channeling energy to yourself, and you can really get into the core pure version of your being. But it's also kind of empty because there's no other human connection when you're doing mirror magic or mirror work, because it's a perfect reflection, right? With this person, it's not just the reflection they're seeing, it's an energetic reflection, right? It's almost like you're experiencing their energy as a reflection, not just who they are or how they appear to be. So there is going to be a distortion, and part of the distortion on their end is they're projecting these qualities onto you. They think that you can have really amazing self-restraint. They feel like you can be abstinent if you wanted to. They feel like you can have this sense of purification like they have. They feel like you can totally have as much discipline as they do. There is this strong vibe of them projecting this energy onto you, and their secret thought is like, kind of like, they can really do what I can do, and one day they'll be able to do it fully. I don't know if that's the case in this connection. And especially, I don't want you guys to try to be something you're not. Here's the thing. If you desire to try this out and be this type of way, go for it. There's nothing wrong with trying out a way of being, because sometimes we unlock certain aspects of ourselves that we never knew existed. But if this is getting to the point where you're kind of absorbing their projection in a way that's making you want to live up to their standards, this could be a little bit of an unhealthy thing. And it's not like this person wants you to be like this. They just think you're going to be like this. They think eventually over time, remember they see that future thing? They think over time you will end up like this. You'll be this kind of type of person, or you'll grow into this type of person is kind of how they're seeing it. And you guys may or may not, you know, it just depends on your particular life path. I see maybe some of you developing this type of personality, like probably like 50% of the time in your life. And some of you just pretty much neglecting it completely, you know, like not even indulging in it. So it's really something that you guys can choose to do whenever you want to. And if you don't want to, you don't have to do it. I'm just saying the mirror's distorted. There might be things that you project onto this person that they're never going to be, or that you think they're going to be one day, and they might not live up to that energy, something like that. So keep that in mind with this kind of connection. This is kind of not really who you are, but this is how they're thinking about you. It's not really a mental, it's like an energetic projection, because they're reading your energy, but they're not seeing who you are at the same time. So yeah, there's just a lot of reflecting in this connection. And remember those ripples, it makes you have to look a lot harder at the reflected image. You have to like look a little bit more difficult. I would say for you guys, if you really want to just bring that relationship back to that ease, if maybe the the introspection and the digging into each other's souls, or whatever it is that you guys are finding yourselves in the other one. In order to get that mirror a little bit clearer again, going back to that Three of Pentacles card in part one, working together is going to bring a really good sense of clarity. Working on projects together is going to make everything very, very clear again, right? You guys are meant to be coworkers, teammates, community people. That's why that stuff showed up in part one. Remember, part one is the stuff you've shared with each other. And in this particular connection, the secrets here, the secret thoughts, sometimes the secret thoughts are like really beautiful things, and someone's thinking these secret, amazing things about you. And this person's thinking some of those things, but a lot of the stuff they're thinking about is stuff that either you're not expressing, or like fears or jealousies that they have, which makes sense. It's happening. They're not, who would want to express that to a person, right? Like if you really think about it, what thoughts are we going to keep secret from people? We're going to keep secret the thoughts that would either hurt their feelings, or thoughts that like we don't want them to hear, you know? So here's another thought. Okay, the King of Swords. I got to get to the King of Swords because it's kind of a funny one, and it's funny that I'm ending the reading on it. But the King of Swords is coming through as if you guys were dating someone. They view the people you date as kind of boring or dull, is kind of what I'm seeing. Especially with the King of Swords. First of all, they view the people you date as kind of like either too mature for you or not on your level. They might view the people you date as kind of like, how do I put it? Like, just kind of like out of touch. They might feel like you would have, and might be a good perception on their part. I don't know. You guys will have to analyze that yourself, or take what resonates, you know? But they view that in general, they just view that you're dating the wrong type, you know? For most of you, it's going to be you're dating people way too old for you, or that this is how they're perceiving it. You might not feel this way. You might feel that, you know, like older men or older women are like the perfect match for you, and that's how it's going to go. But the way they're seeing it is like they date people who are way too old for them. They need to date someone their age, you know, someone who has that sense of spontaneity like they do. Yeah, remember, there's also that feeling that they feel this way as well, because with that debilitated discomfort and that Ace of Wands energy, they kind of wish that they had like your energy, because they think that you guys would work even better together, or that you would work well with someone who is also as energetic as you are. But I do see that you guys are in a way attracted to your opposite. You're attracted to that King of Swords, that kind of cooling, airy type personality. So for example, if your guys' fire sign placements might perfectly line up with someone who has air sign placements, and romantically you're really attracted to those types, that kind of thing. But with King of Swords, also, if you're coming to this reading and you're actually dating this person, and this person's a romantic interest, they could view themselves as the wrong type for you romantically, right? They might think in their head, like, I just want to work team projects with them, but like, I would not be right for them romantically, that kind of thing. But overall, they don't really approve of your romantic partners, right? They might, you know, tolerate them, and they might not bring this up because this is coming through as a secret thought, like they might not say it. But they have a feeling that you could date someone who's more alive, who's more passionate, who's more on your level, who's more adventurous. Now, this might not work for you guys. Maybe you guys have learned in your life that, you know, you like people who are more calm or more logical or more collected, because it grounds you guys or something like that, or it makes you guys feel more stable, or it cools off the passion, right? It's so funny that I got overheated in the beginning of this reading, and I had to turn on the air all around me. You know, maybe you guys feel like that often. Maybe you feel like you're this burning Ace of Wands candle flame, and you're just like always on fire or something like that, and you just need constant cooling. You know, that could be something that maybe you guys require in your life, something like that. But overall, you know, and I think the reason why they don't like the types that you date is because the types you date are in a way sort of similar to how this person is. Or it's like when you go to a party and like there's like an extrovert and they have their two introverted friends, and then the extrovert's like providing all this stimulating conversation, and then they leave and the introverts are just like, so how about that weather? Yeah. Oh, how long have you known so-and-so? Oh, not that long. You? It's very much like that energy where there's like no conversation, or they just view the person as kind of dull or boring or something like that. And they're like, man, why can't they date someone more exciting? Then we could all have fun, or like when I hang out with them, we could have more fun, something like that. So, and the reason I'm getting that message is because, just so you guys know, is with the King of Swords, is because it's a sword energy and it's a king, which makes me think of the older, and there's a gravestone in this deck, which makes me think of a dead person or someone who's kind of like a zombie. So they might feel like you date zombies or something like that. Yeah, I guess we're ending the reading on that. That's the last message, honestly. Yeah, so hopefully you guys didn't get too upset with their secret thoughts. Yeah, this person really does love you, going back to the thoughts that you're aware of, but they do share that appreciation with you, is kind of what it seems like. And the parts that they keep secret are parts that either, with the future card here, they think you're going to grow into eventually, but you're not that way now. That's probably why they're not bringing it up. Or it's like jealousy of your energy, envy of your energy. Yeah, there's just the things in the beginning of the reading with the teamwork, with the kind of soulmate connection where it's like really easy to share things with each other. The fact that they are talked about your distractibility, but they kind of enjoy it because they can just continue working. And it's like you can go off and do your own thing, but then you come back, you go off and do your own thing, and then you come back. Even in my example at the bar, you guys were running off doing something and the two introverts were left there. So there's this feeling of like doing your own thing, letting yourself be distracted, coming back to the person, and them kind of just like feeling, how do I put it? They're comfortable with that. That's why they bring up that distractibility thing. Like I said, this is probably someone who doesn't say mean things to people, but kind of thinks those things in their head. Doesn't mean they actually, how do I put this? They might think these things, but it might not be, how do I put this? It might not be the highest percentage of their feeling, right? So for example, this is kind of the person who likes to live by how they say things or how they show their actions on the outside. If someone watched their secret thoughts, they wouldn't want someone to do that because they wouldn't want to create the impression that their secret thoughts are giving to that person. Also, the way you can think of this too is like this person, you can think of them as like their surface persona, how they are on the outside is the genuine part, and maybe the internal world is the part they disassociate from or they are fighting to like deal with. Maybe the internal world for them is a world that they are more ashamed of, or more kind of like, how do I put it? Like they don't, because it's filled with a few things. It's filled with secret understandings about how things develop. It's also filled with like jealousies and stuff, which I don't think they're necessarily comfortable with, but they're dealing with those. But this is not the person who's like fake nice on the outside, and then internally their real self is like this raging bitch that's ready to come out. That's not the vibe with this person. This person's definitely likes to be perceived by what they say, how they act, their actions, which in all truth and reality is how we all should be perceived. No one should be judged for their inner world or their inner thoughts just because they're a little dark or disturbing or hateful or whatever, because sometimes we have this, and this person specifically has a hard time controlling their inner world. They have a hard time getting a grip on their inner world, or like having that, it's almost like you guys, I'm seeing you guys as having an easier time with your inner world and containing positive feelings. And we had that with the manifestation card where you guys just get things because your inner world is so aligned. This person might struggle with that a bit more because their inner world's a little more chaotic or disjointed, or they struggle to control it, so maybe their life is a little more faded or has a little bit more faded events to them. Their life, basically. Okay, I'm gonna end your guys' reading. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. Thank you for watching. If you want to help out the channel, please like or comment below. If you feel like subscribing, you can do that as well. Now, with that said, I'm going to end your guys' reading. I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you again for watching. I really enjoyed reading for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed this too. You got some insight from it, or hopefully it was accurate, If you made it this far, it probably was. Anyway, so I will catch you guys in the next reading. Bye. Hey, group 3. This is if you picked the rose quartz crystal, this lovely pink crystal right here. So let's get into your reading. Now this reading's set up in two parts, part 1 and part 2. So I'll be laying out all the cards for part 1, reading about what this person thinks of you and kind of how you know they think of you a little bit, or how you could assume they're thinking of you. And then we're going to get into part 2, which is their secret thoughts, things that they haven't told you or things that they're maybe keeping from you or things that they think about you that are kind of private for them. So let's get into the reading. So first I'm going to draw a numerology card for their thoughts about you that you kind of already know. This could be stuff they've told you or just in general stuff that should be clear, that should make sense, I guess you could say. So let's get a numerology card. We have Intuition, 22. Let's get a Astro Oracle card as well. Let's see. What Astro Oracle card wants to come out for group 3? We have Ascendant. Then I want to get a Character Oracle card for you guys. And we have Young, Vitality, Innovation, Potential, Growth. And I also want to get 3 or so tarot cards for you guys as well. So let's see what tarot cards want to come out for group 3. Well, that's so funny, this card's reversed. I think I'm going to take it reversed. Wasn't planning on taking reversals, but I think I'll take this reverse card for this reading. Okay. Okay, so the way this person kind of views you, and this would be like how you know they view you or how you could kind of perceive that they view you. First, with Young here, we have a lot of themes of potential. We have a lot of themes of potential, future development, and ascension on your own journey. That's kind of how this person views you in general. I don't know if they're thinking of the word ascension, but they're thinking you have a long way to develop and grow in your life. This can indicate that they see you as kind of young or naive or something like that. Or just in essence, a little less experienced than they are. With intuition here, the overriding thing about this person, how they view you, is they see you as someone who's very intuitive. Also very powerful. We have master number 22 here. So they see you as someone who's very powerful. Master number 22 is the number of the builder or the master builder. So they do see that you're going to build something over your lifetime, right? This person definitely sees your potential very clearly and very fully. They've talked to you about this. They've told you you've had great potential. They tell you you have the ability to grow and build a very powerful and vital future. I think this person is coming across as, this is just extra confirmation for you guys. This person's coming across as a teacher or an older person who's kind of guiding you along a path or something like that. They're helping you out is kind of what I'm seeing this person. With Queen of Cups and Knight of Wands, they see your personality as like two-sided, or you have two sides to yourself. With the Queen of Cups here, they see you as very intuitive. Also, they see you as having the ability to straddle multiple worlds. So you could have a foot in the spirit world, you could have a foot in reality, you could have a foot in angelic realms. You have the ability to straddle two worlds at the same time. So for example, you're not so intuitive that you lose yourself in one world over the other. You guys keep this sense of balance, right? And we see in the Queen of Cups card, there's like multiple faces on her. And normally I refer to the Queen of Cups because she's right on the shore of the ocean and the land. And that's where I normally get this message from, of straddling two worlds, of having like a foot in, the intuitive world and a foot in reality, and maybe going back and forth between those two and keeping a balance between what's practical versus what is emotional or intuitive. But in this card, it's very different. First of all, she's made of stone, indicating your sense of stability. Also, we have the three faces here looking in different directions. And I see that as being able to see different worlds simultaneously, understanding that there are different perspectives to every situation, and there are different underlying themes that are layered on this reality. And you guys kind of see that or perceive that. I'm kind of envious because I don't get to see that clearly into other realms. I just don't have that gift. Maybe I will in the future, but right now I don't have that gift. But you guys have this ability to see into different realms. I'm also looking at this snake right by her, and even though you guys are represented as stone in this regard, remember that you also have this Knight of Wands side to you too. So I'm going to cover the Queen of Cups side first. And remember too, this is how they're thinking of you. And because we have court cards here, they're analyzing your character. They're thinking of your potential with intuition and potential over here in the Five of Swords reverse. They're thinking of your future transformation. They're really focused on your growth. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is a teacher of some sort. They also see with this snake here that maybe there could be the feeling with it being a creature that you guys might feel more malleable, or you might feel more flexible in other worlds like spirit worlds or angelic realms, or wherever, if you're working with ETs or extraterrestrials or ascended masters, whatever the case may be, you feel more flexible in those departments than you do in like your actual physical body or in reality. You might feel your body actually has limitations to it, or there's something about your physical body that has, you guys could have a handicap. Like you could, I'm just throwing out random handicaps here, but maybe you have a broken leg or something like that, or your legs don't work or something like that. Or I'm trying to think of other handicaps, or maybe you're blind, something like that, or you can't see, and so something like that. There's some kind of physical handicap here. Maybe you can't hear or something like that. Some kind of handicap with the body that I'm sensing with you guys. If it's not any kind of like obvious handicap, it could just indicate feeling stiff or restrained within your own body. So they're very aware of this fact. They're very aware that you have this attitude about your physical body. Another thing that this could manifest as is just general health problems with the body, where you're constantly suffering from some kind of ailment, something like that. But when you're in other worlds, like when you're in angelic realms or spirit worlds or something like that, you have a very healthy spirit body is kind of what I'm seeing. Your intuition is off the charts, and this person's very aware of that. They're very aware that you have a very extremely strong intuition. You're associated with the number 22. You guys might not even have like your life path number is 22 or your birth number add up. Some of you will, but you're associated with the number 22 and the fact that you are a master builder and you're meant to build something of substance in this world. So that's how they're viewing your intuitive side. That's kind of how they see you or how they experience you as well. They see you this way. They see you as someone who can straddle multiple worlds, who has, a sturdy form or into their body, but at the same time, some ailments, because it's almost like your body in this reality is not that flexible is kind of what I'm seeing. So it takes a lot of damage, right? You can think of like, a video game or something like that. Your health doesn't recover as quickly as other people's is kind of what I'm seeing. So you get straddled with a lot more ailments. With the Knight of Wands, this is coming through in the center position. This is kind of their thought about you. I feel like this person feels like you come in and out of their life sporadically, or on the flip side, you have they're very sexually drawn to you. I think this person, it's possible you and this person had like a hookup at some point or a sexual experience, but then you both decided to call it quits, something like that, and you decided to keep your relationship as more of a friendship or even a mentoring dynamic, right? Where you're mentoring them, maybe you're mentoring them too, I don't know, but it feels like a one-time thing. It feels like it was very passionate and very intense, but at the same time, it was something that, for whatever reason, I'm feeling it was like a one-time thing, something like that. For some of you, you have hooked up with this person multiple times, but it's been very like, how do I put this? Like the passion and the sex that you guys have experienced is very separate from your connection. It's not like it interlocks with your actual connection. It's like you guys have this kind of they have this kind of mentoring attitude towards you that they want to help you grow and develop. But at the same time, it's very separate from the sexual connection you guys have. It's like your sexual connection is just like this very passionate, fiery thing. But then on the other side, you have this kind of mentoring, different dynamic that is kind of contradictory to the sexual dynamic. And like I mentioned earlier, most of you kind of hooked up with this person once. It was very passionate, but you learned that you like this other side of your connection better. So you guys decided to keep sex out of the picture, something like that. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. Yeah, I'm looking at this snow skier and the snow and the ice around him. And there's just this feeling of coldness too. It's like, even though you guys have a vitality and there's a sense of passion to you, your person kind of sees you as a little cold or unemotional. This is something you guys could perceive that they view you as. But overall, it's interesting because with growth here and potential, they still feel like you have the ability to grow into a vital person. They also feel like you have this ability to innovate. And this could be just a sense of like inventions, or this could be a sense of like being able to work with materials in a very unique way or something like that. This person feels like you're very much an innovator, and you think of new things all the time is kind of what I'm seeing. Anyway, with going back to Knight of Wands, we do have a rooster here too next to him. So it's making me think that this Knight of Wands energy is very confident. They kind of feel like you have a sense of confidence about you. And maybe this, in some regards, maybe there's aspects about this person that rub you the wrong way because you have a sense maybe of feeling like you know a lot or you know so much. And I do see that you know a lot, but this person is viewing you in some other regard as seeing you as young or seeing you as kind of still needing to grow into yourself a little bit more. Even though they see that you have all these different aspects of yourself that are really clearly extremely advanced, as far as spiritual gifts, as far as your intuition, even your sexuality is advanced, is kind of what I'm seeing. Your passion is advanced. The fact that you have this passionate side, this deeply sexual side. Honestly, you know what this is giving me? Strong Scorpio energy. Strong Scorpio energy is coming through for sure. If I could combine the Queen of Cups with the Knight of Wands, I would say Scorpio. Yeah. Also, with the ascendant here, well, funny, even though I'm going to this ascendant, you could be Scorpio ascendant, something like that, or have Scorpio as a strong placement in your chart. But with entrance here, they feel like you are the portal to a world where they can explore, but they don't have the ability to explore that world, something like that. Also with ascendants and entrance, 3 and 5 adds up to 8, which kind of relates to the, I kind of see 8 too as like, I used to see it as abundance a lot, but with 8, I kind of see it, I mentioned this in another group, it's this as above, so below attitude, right? So you're going up into the stratosphere, you're coming back down under the ground into the rooted sense and going back up. So they do see you as kind of having this ability, once again, to straddle two worlds. With 5 of Swords here being in reverse, I'm seeing there's this butterfly, and the butterfly is kind of coming out of a cocoon. The cocoon is broken open, and the butterfly is, I feel like it's almost like they're just about to burst forth and spread their wings. This person feels like you are always on the precipice of some kind of enlightenment or some kind of bursting forth or some kind of transformation. They see you as someone who's very transformative, who's always undergoing different transformations. We have the runes here. It's funny, I know what these runes mean. This is Hagalos, Birkenau. I think this is Iwaz, Laguz, and Ingwaz, something like that. But these runes basically represent a sense of, I'm going to label these runes just because they're out in the reading, but I might not dive too deeply into them as far as like an interpretation. I'll try to do a little bit, but Hagalaz, it represents disasters, like it, like hurricanes or hailstorms or something like that. Birkenau represents fertility. Iwaz represents basically like a horse or like a vehicle that you travel with or something, the vehicle that lets you move through the world. Laguz represents intuition, the unconscious. And Ingwaz what does Ingwaz represent? I totally am blanking on what Ingwaz represents. I think he was just the god that kind of like created the runes, or he was the god that, you know, they worshipped as far as the runes go. So I'm going to take that as language. I think that first of all, you guys have a very chaotic nature. You can be destructive, but with the fertility symbol here, you can also be this symbol of birth and this symbol of fertility in general, or this symbol of growth in general. With the butterfly coming out of the cocoon, I think this person views you as someone who can destroy and create all at the same time. And with the symbol for the body, or how you move through the world, right next to the Lagu symbol, the symbol of intuition, the symbol of the subconscious mind, it's going back to that reiteration that you guys travel through these intuitive subconscious worlds with relative ease, right? And also with the language symbol right next to Lagus, I think you guys have a way of putting these worlds into words, or putting these worlds into some kind of way of communication that is effective with your environment and your reality, right? You guys have this ability to translate from one world to the next, something like that. Mainly this person with the young energy here sees you as someone who's very young. They do see you as someone who's very vital, even though you do have some of those health issues that we talked about, or that handicap we talked about. They could see you as someone who's very passionate with the Knight of Wands energy here. And someone who's kind of innovative, who like creates things, or is kind of has a creative streak to them as well. Also, potential and growth. They really do see you as having so much potential, and they constantly feel like you're on the precipice of understanding something big or profound. Whether you guys are or not, they feel like you're just almost there towards like this feeling of enlightenment. This person's giving like spiritual guru vibes. They're also giving like teacher or mentor, or someone who explains things to you. Yeah, they definitely seem older. Could be a parental figure. You would have to just forget the sex part with that if they're a parental figure. You know, that message wouldn't apply, obviously. But like, yeah, so I think that this person wants to guide you. There's a feeling of wanting to guide you. And they know you're talented. They know you have intuitive gifts beyond belief. I even think this person knows that intuitively you're possibly more advanced than they are, or you have the potential to be more advanced than they are. So if you're thinking of this person as kind of like a wise spiritual teacher, you could definitely surpass them in this lifetime, mainly because they have a lot of wisdom, but they're also seeing your potential and your like how strong you are in these realms, and that you can overcome like any obstacle that you have, and you can advance and like it's giving me the vibe that they feel like you could be stronger than them someday, as spiritually wise, something like that. Okay, so I'm gonna move the cards, and we're gonna get into their secret thoughts, the thoughts that you probably don't know about them yet, that they're thinking that they might be keeping to themselves. So let's get some of these cards out for that. So your first numerology card is self-love. And let's get your Astral Oracle card. We have South Node, the past. Let's get a character Oracle card. Lost Soul. Wow, okay. And then let's get some tarot cards to represent their secret thoughts about you. Let's see. We have Ace of Cups, the Magician, and the Three of Wands. Okay. Okay, so this person with Lost Soul here, this is representing a few different things. First is representing how they see you at times. Like sometimes this person sees you as coming across as someone who's like struggling or feels defeated or has given up. Like you guys might present this image at times that you've totally given up, that you're completely confused and you don't know what's going on in the world at all. And this person thinks of you that way, that maybe you have no clue, right? So on one hand, where they have they've given you the impression that you have all the clues with the intuition and the being in the different worlds and having access to all this knowledge. On the other hand, they see you as someone who secretly, in moments, because they see you as the other two, on other moments, they see you as someone who's completely confused, completely defeated, completely struggling without any sense of having a happy life. And they also see you as someone who's a wanderer, who doesn't have a sense of purpose, right? They see you as someone who is maybe looking for clarity, but doesn't seek it out as often as they feel like you should, right? I think this person, as far as like being a mentor or being someone who is guiding you, or someone who wants the best for you or sees that potential in you, they wish you would put in a little more effort. That's something that's coming through. They wish you would put in a little more effort into your spiritual journey. I feel like maybe they feel like things come easy to you, and so you don't know how to handle setbacks or defeat or something like that, or you definitely like you wallow. There's a feeling of they feel like you wallow in your emotions or you wallow in your negative emotions, and they haven't really expressed this to you, that they get frustrated with this aspect of you. That's kind of what I'm seeing. Now that's the negative. That's the only negative secret thought. A lot of the rest of their secret thoughts are really good and beneficial, and there are things that you might not have realized that they feel this way about you. So first, with self-love and Ace of Cups, overridingly, even though they see you as struggling, even though they see you as confused, even though they see you as defeated, they feel like you have the utmost, the most powerful, the strongest self-esteem of anyone they've ever met. They feel like you are so completely full of self-love. You're so completely full of, because it's double confirmed here with self-love and Ace of Cups. There's this feeling of your cup being so full that it almost radiates out to others. It does feel contained though, because we do have self-love and Ace of Cups. We didn't get like love in general or like any kind of energy about another person, because Ace of Cups only has that one cup. It's not the Two of Cups where it's like the multiple exchange of energy. But overall, they see you as very self-loving. They see you as they could see you as very self-nurturing, honestly. They could see you as someone who is just oozing. It's almost like you're glowing with your own love. And it's almost like it could be a sense of confidence that's coming through too, but I'm not seeing that so much as just a glowing image of self-love for yourself. So you guys, they see you as someone who loves yourself deeply. Now, here's the other thing that I'm kind of seeing with Lost Soul. Part of this confusion in this card is coming out to me as far as their feelings go as well. So this person is the person you're asking about. They don't have a clear idea of your talents in some regards, right? A lot of stuff they're perceiving about you is stuff they're guessing, right? A lot of their secret thoughts, because it depends. Like in one of the other groups, the secret thoughts were all these like mean things they didn't want to tell the person because they didn't want to ruin the relationship, but they're thinking these critical thoughts in their head. This person, it's more of like a guessing game, right? It's like they don't want to tell you their thoughts because they're not sure if they're right. They're not sure if they're correct. And they're still, in a way, analyzing you or trying to figure you out and trying to see if these thoughts all solidify. But these are kind of like their hypothesis. They're hypotheses, right, that they have of you, where they kind of are guessing these things about you. They're kind of thinking like, maybe they're like this, maybe they're like this, but I better not tell them or better not show them that I'm thinking these things in case they're not going in this. It's almost like in case you're not growing in this direction, or also in case like these are false aspects, right? So keep that in mind about their secret thoughts. A lot of them are kind of relating to this aspect. With self-love and Ace of Cups, that's how they're perceiving you. And they don't know if that's true or not, but they perceive you as someone who is so it's almost like they see you as someone who's totally mastered self-love. From the outside looking in, it appears that way to them. And with Ace of Cups, there's this bird drinking from the cup, you know? I think they see you as mastering so much self-love, having so much love for yourself, that it's literally like creating this kind of black hole of love in your body. And they think that's what magnetizes other people to you. So for example, you could have so much love for yourself, according to them, right? According to their perception of you, that you attract people who are seeking that love within themselves. They're attracting people who might suffer from low self-esteem or might suffer from not loving themselves. So people are attracted to you because they don't have that. They don't have that self-love. And that's what this person's theory is, right? That's what their secret thought is. They're like, maybe they're attracting all these relationships because they love themselves so much. That's why they attract all these broken people, or that's why they attract all these people who need their help, something like that. Now, the Magician card, this is something that they're theorizing too. They know you can go between different worlds. They know you're in touch with the spirit world. They know you're in touch with multiple different levels of reality. They know you're in touch with all that, but they are kind of trying to figure out if you are a good manifester or not. Can you manifest the things you want in their life? I mean, I think because it's right below Lost Soul, sometimes they feel like you don't get what you want in life, or you're always struggling, or you don't get anything you want. And they're kind of wondering if, maybe you really do get all the things you want in this lifetime, and maybe the struggle and the defeat is just these momentary lapses, but they're trying to see if you have all the tools necessary to make your way in the world in a very yang way. And I mean yang like a divine masculine way. Like they're trying to see do you have the ability to push ahead, or do you have the ability to, how do I put this, put an idea out there and make it happen, right? With that as above, so below, we kind of had that a little bit in the beginning of the reading, but they're trying to see if you've mastered that area, or if you have that ability at all. They're still trying to judge that side of you. They're trying to see, can they get what they want in this reality? Do they believe that they have choice in the matter? Do they believe that they control their reality? I honestly think they feel like maybe you present that, but they're still doubting it. They're thinking do they have this? They might, but do they have this? Remember, a lot of their private thoughts are questions. They're questioning you. They're kind of trying to see what other gifts you have, right? They're trying to watch and observe, and they're trying to see what kind of strengths and gifts you have besides just straddling both worlds, besides your incredible intuition, besides your knowledge of almost everything. They're trying to see if you can actually make things happen, if you can actually cast spells, because believe it or not, being able to make things happen using manifestation, using spell work, stuff like that, it's different than just having intuition. Intuition is a sense of knowing something. Manifestation is a sense of creating something, right? That's why the Magician has all these tools, right? Because they have what they need to create whatever they want. It's like being prepared or having all the tools necessary to create their reality. With Three of Wands here, this is something that's coming through as something they think you could work on. They're also guessing this, that if you have this talent as well. And so, but this is something that they're more solidified on, is the best way to put it. They're more aware of this as something you could have as a talent. So I do see them approaching you pretty soon with this type of information. And the Three of Wands is representing rituals, right? She has this little offering bowl, and there's this lamb floating in the air, and there's this rabbit looking at this lamb. It's giving ritual vibes. I think she's painted this symbol on this stone, or this little, I don't know what that is. It's like a little rock or something. But they're seeing you as someone who could really work with rituals. Specifically rituals, or how do I put it? They just see you as someone who could start using rituals to get things in your life, or to make your life more consistent, or something like that. Or streamline a lot of your abilities into a more efficient way of engaging with the spirit world, or with manifestation, something like that. But overall, they're just seeing that, these rituals could be a big part of your journey, and something spiritually that you could master to get ahead in life. And they're going to approach you with something like this. They're going to say well, have you ever tried rituals, or have you ever tried trying to work with herbs, or have you ever tried to work with crystals? Have you ever tried to create grids? Have you ever tried to work with gods or goddesses, or do offerings? Whatever the ritual is, they're going to try to talk to you about rituals, or incorporating some kind of ritual into your life. Now, this is something that they perceive as a talent. They're still guessing it, right? It's still a secret thought. They haven't come forth with this thought yet, but I would bet that they come forth with this thought sooner and more soon than they come through with these other three perceptions of you, right? Because they're still working on trying to figure out how these things work in your life, how these dynamics work. With South Node past, this person could feel like you hold on to your past too much. Or they could feel like in general, you are really attached to the past. Remember, a lot of things they're guessing, right? With South Node, they're guessing this as well. They're wondering if you are sentimental. They're wondering if you attach to the past. There might be clues about this in your guys' relationship where maybe you've brought up the past or something like that, and they can't really figure out if you're attached to the past. South Node is also about letting go. It's about letting go and moving forward on your path. They might even feel like you're too attached to your past. And that you're not able to move on into the future, right? So they might feel like you can't move on. They might feel like you're stuck in a certain situation. We have that with defeat, struggle, and confusion. They might even view the fact that you're stuck to the past so much that you can't move on into the future. You can't fulfill your destiny. Remember, they're seeing your potential. So they're kind of viewing your life as like traveling in the past. I don't know if you guys know anything about the North or South Node, but you probably do. You guys seem super spiritual. You probably read into a lot of stuff, but the South Node is like is like kind of this vibe of where we're coming from, and the future is kind of like our destiny or where we're headed to. And so, especially in this deck, the North Node says future on it, and we know from them that they're very future focused with you specifically. They're very focused on your growth, your development, how you're going to be in the future. They're very focused on your journey, and they feel like you have so much potential, but they're worried that if you hold on to your past, you're never going to grow or you're never going to get anywhere. That's kind of the secret thought they're carrying. But at the same time, they don't want to ruin this side of you. They don't want to tell you, oh, you have to drop your past to move on in life. They're not going to say that because, like I said, they're guessing again. Maybe your past is really important to you. Maybe these things that you hold on to are extremely important to you, and they don't want to question those. They don't want to question those because they feel like if it's something that you love, or it's even causing the self-love, they're kind of thinking of that too. It's like, even if it's causing the self-love, they don't want you to let go of it, or they don't want to tell you to let go of it prematurely, right? A lot of this stuff is very calculated. This person's coming across as very calculated. They want to make sure they say the right thing at the right time. There's a strong vibe here of, how do I put this? Of giving you the information when you're ready, right? And it's interesting because it's not only, and that kind of is how maybe you perceive this person, like someone who's wise but doesn't tell you things until you're ready to hear them. But here's the truth of the matter. They're still trying to figure you out. So a lot of the stuff they don't tell you is because they haven't figured out whether you need something in this regard or whether you are acting this way because of this. There's a lot of guessing here. And so this person, even though they kind of are presenting themselves as someone who's a little bit older, or they're talking to you like you have the potential and you have all the possibilities, they are still figuring you out, right? They are kind of in this way with their secret thoughts. They're kind of the difference between your guys' reality and this person's reality as far as both of your perceptions go. This person's reality is like guessing things until they click, until something clicks and they're like, oh, that's what it is, right? Or, oh, that makes sense because I have enough evidence to prove that. They're kind of collecting data, right? This person's like collecting data. You guys, on the other hand, are straddling different worlds, spiritually, like just completely in the realm of, you're in different realms, right? And your intuition is so on point. I think you guys know things a lot clearer than this person does because you're just blessed with the knowledge. Like you just have that knowledge. This person that you are asking about has to figure things out. And so sometimes they seem smarter, they seem older than you, they seem more advanced than you. In other ways, they're just as lost as you are when you're in these periods of confusion, defeat, and struggle. Especially when they're thinking about how you are as a person. They're guessing these things. Their mind is kind of like a kaleidoscope of ideas or hypothesis. And they're always trying to prove these hypotheses right. Hypotheses, I don't know how to say it, what the plural is of that. But they're always trying to prove these kind of they're trying to guess. And they're always trying to prove, they're trying to get information so they can solidify their guesses into knowledge. And this has really worked for this person in their life. They're the type of person who I feel like throughout their life constantly has like a guess of what a situation is, and then they collect evidence to figure out the knowledge of that situation. Now, just so you guys know, I know this is at the end of the reading, but if you got this far and you're thinking, man, I'm not that spiritual, or it's coming through that this person wants to educate you in this regard. And the things they've seen you do, like, I would be very surprised if you got this far in the reading and you guys aren't spiritual people. But if you are someone who got this far and you relate to all the things and the metaphors, this could apply not just spiritually, but to other aspects of life, right? Maybe with intuition and straddling different worlds, you have multiple jobs and you have a solid understanding of how to maneuver in all those different jobs. With Ace of Cups, you could have the technical know-how, I want to let this reading be applicable to people who are not spiritual people, as well as people who are spiritual people. Although I would say that 80% of you watching this are deeply, profoundly spiritual, or have like a super strong intuition, or you're just have this ability to straddle all different worlds, is kind of what I'm seeing. Anyway, I'm going to end your reading there. That's what their secret thoughts are of you. And if you like this reading, good. I'm glad. If you want to help out the channel, please like or comment below. And with that said, I'll bid you guys adieu and see you in the next pick a card. Thanks again for watching. Bye.